Let me give you a quick 15 minutes of heat, too, because Solana's got headlines for you. 15 minutes of heat, sponsored by Kendall Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Start the new year in a new ride with no payments for 90 days. Kendall Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.com. We've talked about the Heat extensively today already, and we know that they didn't have a practice today. They had a film session for the entire team. But I find this to be very interesting. There was a question for Ira Winderman in the Sun Sentinel. And it says Jimmy Butler has infested this franchise with apathy towards the regular season. His outside interests and laissez-faire attitude have run their course here, in my opinion. Now, before I read you Ira's answer, that's an absurd thing to email. The dude has led you into 2 NBA finals since he got here. Sorry. Now, listen, I wish every game felt like it was a playoff game, but it doesn't. But sorry, emailer, if you feel like Jimmy Butler has infested this team with anything other than winning, because playoff Jimmy is something spectacular to watch. That being said, I just want to read you Ira's answer, Solana, and then you can comment. Ira says, hard to disagree with the first part. The way Jimmy Butler is such a dramatically different player between regular season and the playoffs, but I'm not buying the second part. Plenty of NBA stars have endorsements and varied outside interests and still persevere through the regular season, with LeBron James and Steph Curry among examples. As it is, Jimmy clearly was the most driven Heat player these past 2 games. He did his part. So I don't think that he's infested the team with the laissez-faire attitude, but I will say the leader of the team sets the tone. And I don't think it's a secret that he doesn't care much about the regular season. So when your leader doesn't care as much about the regular season as others do, that's going to bleed over into what goes on with the team. But that's part and parcel of getting a guy like Jimmy Butler.
First off, I would want to mirror Ira with this, and it just struck me as that shut up and dribble approach to sports, where, listen, no matter what, big face coffee, no matter what the hell he wants to do, have different hairdos at media day, whatever they're speaking of, the emailer speaking of, that is 1957 approach to athletes. So I'm with Ira on that. I can't agree on the second part. I think it's dumb as hell. But the first part's true. But Jimmy's not the only guy. I think it's just glaring with Jimmy because he plays so damn hard, and his approach to the game and the steals and the rebounds. And he's not just, and not, it's not a knock, Salon, because you get on me when I say this time, not being a natural scorer, where when Jimmy's not playing hard, like we've seen Jimmy drop 56, he's dropping 18. He's dropping 20, where there's some guys that can go out there like a Steph and go out there and hit 7 3-pointers and get to 30, no problem. But I don't think it infests those other guys, to be honest, as an athlete. If I'm one of these other pieces, if I'm Hacky Lackey Jr. and these young dudes and Caleb Martin and those guys, you have to play hard. You're not Jimmy Butler. So for Jimmy, for somebody to think that the ancillary pieces are taking nights off because Jimmy's showing them the way to take games off, I think that's BS too, because those guys have not proven and doesn't have the resume to take the regular season off, because you're not Jimmy Butler. You haven't dropped 50+ in a playoff game. You haven't carried a team to the NBA Finals twice. You haven't carried a number of teams into the playoffs. So I don't think Jimmy playing the way he does, that the playoff Jimmy, I don't think that affects the young guys, because if it does, you have the wrong guys. They got to play hard every damn night.
Anybody who works laissez-faire into an argument about sports in 2024, to me, is a douchebag. I mean, who are you, John Locke, analyzing a political turmoil in the second treatise of government? I mean, seriously, get over yourself, you loser. And second of all, anybody who's talking about Jimmy Butler at this stage taking games off clearly just hasn't watched the last 3 games.
Well, it's not taking games off, though. He's saying an apathetic attitude towards the regular season, and that you really can't argue.
I agree with that to a certain degree, but like Crowder saying, he may approach it in a more apathetic way, but that shouldn't be the reflection of the team as a whole. Like, LeBron James doesn't approach a regular season game in January the same way he would approach an NBA Finals game. Steph Curry, the same way. But because those guys, right now aren't in 7-game losing streaks, nobody is crushing them for it. But
I would
Jimmy
say,
Butler
though,
is getting crushed for it.
LeBron, though, I think has shown you over the course of his career that he takes the regular season seriously. That was a little bit of a schism with Dwayne Wade, and I think it's a schism with who's the big dude who could never get off the bench?
Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Who, you know what I mean? Like, I think there's that.
I agree.
I agree. Like, I think if you asked LeBron, would you rather be the 3 seed going into the playoffs and have some wear and tear on your body during the season, or would you rather be the 8 seed or a play-in team and be fresher? I think LeBron would tell you I'd rather be the 3 seed, and I'll get it wherever I need to get it from for the playoffs. I think if you ask Jimmy Butler, what would you rather? He would say, oh, let me be the play-in team. I don't care. I just want to be healthy. So I do think there's a difference in attitude when it comes to the regular season, but you can't argue with the results. The results show you that Jimmy's approach works. I mean, has it ended in a ring? No. But, man, he's come close just a couple of times. Like, I just can't argue with the results.
And I would say I use myself as an example because this is my biggest comparison would be, and y'all have heard both stories, where Junior Seau wouldn't wear cleats to practice, to the point of what we're saying about with Jimmy, and like you said, Hawk, the wear and tear, where Junior wore tennis shoes to practice. Saban said, Junior, where's your cleats? And Junior looked at Nick Saban straight in the eyes and said, Coach, if I come out here and with cleats on, I'm gonna work too fast. I'm gonna run too fast. I'm gonna hurt somebody. Somebody might hurt me, and none of us need that. Jason Taylor, 06 year, he wore Jordan tennis shoes to practice and just came off the edge and slapped the tackle's hands, wasn't trying to get to the quarterback, and he won the damn defensive player of the year that year because he knew when Sunday comes, I need to be 100% to go out here and ball, and he was the best defensive player in football in the world that season. But I'll switch it to me. That's why I was talking about the ancillary pieces. Watching Junior Seau, Hall of Famer, Jason Taylor, Hall of Famer, take the approach to a Wednesday practice like that, it didn't tell me as the second year, third round pick, oh, yeah, now I can just run through practice and come off the edge and slap guys' hands. No, I'm not Jason Taylor. I'm not Junior Seau. And there's no way that Highsmith and these guys think that they're Jimmy Butler. So his approach to it, to your point, and Solana, I'll push back on it. Like, we can see the difference when Jimmy plays hard and he doesn't. I honestly, to goodness, I can watch in the second quarter and be like, yeah, Jimmy's going to chill tonight. But it should not affect the rest of the team. That's where I would argue. I don't think it affects the rest of the team. I think our roster's a little top heavy and they can't do it. It's not that they don't want to do it.
It's not that he doesn't play hard. It's the type of game he's playing. It's the style of play he's playing, where in the playoffs, he'll go to the free throw line 22 times in a game if he needs to, and he's willing to lay his body on the line every single play if it results in a positive for his team, and he's not willing to undergo that type of toll on his body throughout the 82-game regular season. I'm with you there. Like, he's not willing to do that throughout the regular season. And perhaps that is the best style for the Heat to play, which is just Jimmy Butler with the ball in his hands. Everybody get the hell out of the way. And they're probably built as a playoff team rather than a regular season team, which is why they look as bad as they do right now in the regular season.
All this stuff, by the way, is solved with a win. I'm telling you, you're not having this conversation. If they went on a 3-game losing streak, won a game, and then lost 3 more, it's still not a 7-game losing streak. Just win a game. You can stop doing the film sessions, and we can stop with all the consternation. We can stop with the Ask Ira. Just win a game. That's all you have to do. That'll end all this.
And they need to practice.
And
sitting around in the field room cussing at each other ain't going to help you get better at basketball.
I think Ira wrote that Terry Rozier has not participated in a single practice since he got to the Heat.
He is not. He's participated in shoot-arounds. Today would have been his first official practice. He has not. And Pat Riley, he's got to be sitting up there saying, Spo, you're not having these guys run suicides, right? Like, Pat Riley's probably sitting there
Different
saying,
approach. I think Pat Riley has
sure.
acknowledged that his approach would not work with today's athlete.
But could you imagine like a Pat Riley coach team? They drop 7 in a row. They get blown out the last 3 games. They'd still be running up and down suicides all day. But Spo's like, nah, let's just go kick it in the film room. We'll figure this out.
I don't think he said, let's go kick it in the film room.
Yeah, but y'all know Pete Real. I think y'all have, that's, we're friends now. I know if y'all saw it on social media.
Who this?
Me and Pete Real. Oh, Pat Riley. Sorry. I don't know if y'all knew his nickname.
Real?
He Real?
Yeah, so he's not really like y'all try to paint
what
him as
happened?
Something, We're friends now,
When?
At Udonis's retirement party, me and Pat sat and talked for a little bit.
He thought you were Michael Vick.
Hey, you're taller than I thought you were, Mike. You mean Channing, sir? Channing?
All right, let's get a quick look at headlines here with Solana.
Can I add one little thing that I found fascinating about the last time the Heat lost 7 straight games? It goes back to April of that 07-08 season. Riley's last year coaching the team. The Heat only won 15 games that season. Here's a couple other memorable things from that year. April of 2008. The Dolphins, in that month, selected Jake Long with the first overall pick in the NFL draft after Crowder's 1-15 season.
Interesting.
KU beat Memphis in April, early April, in the NCAA tournament. Remember, Chalmers hits the shot to send it to overtime. Derrick Rose versus Chalmers. Those two weren't even in the league yet. And in that same month, the NBA owners gave the approval of the Supersonics relocation to Oklahoma City. They voted on it.
What year is this? What month and year?
April 2008. Which means the last time the Heat lost 7 straight, the Oklahoma City Thunder were just a thought. They didn't exist yet. We still had the Supersonics in the NBA.
Would you like to know? Would you like to know the number 1 song in April 2008?
I looked this up too. Mariah Carey.
Apple Bottom Jeans.
My body. Touch my body.
Yeah.
I was running South Florida in 08.
You were losing games too, but no.
Listen, I was winning off the field.
Hey, has Kyle Lowry played?
No, I don't know if he's reported.
Didn't he have to report in order for Terry Rozier?
Well, he had to go get the physical, but he didn't have to. He had to report to the facility. But I don't think he's playing with them or practicing with them. Like, I don't think the Hornets have any plans of retaining him. They're probably working on a way to still get him out.
I was just curious. It just popped into my head.
Buyout market would be my guess. You guys want to know the Heat's starting lineup the last time they lost 7 straight?
Oh, I'd like to guess. Can I guess?
Yeah, go ahead. This is 07-08 season, and I'll give you the heads up. Shaq is traded, so Shaq is out. D-Wade missed almost the entire season. Udonis Haslem was out due to injury as well. So those guys, don't even mention them.
It is Ronnie Cycli, Harold Miner, Shavlik Randolph, Brian Grant, and Chris Quinn.
You're 1 for 5.
Nailed it.
And
1 for 5.
Who was I right on?
Chris Quinn. Mark Blunt.
I remember him.
Earl Barron.
Oh, the Earl of Barron.
Chris Quinn. Ricky Davis.
Yeah, I remember Ricky Davis. So was this the 15-win season?
Yeah.
I went to a game.
Cook.
I went to a game that season. I remember I took DJ, and it was like against Detroit. It was like a Saturday at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. If there were 4,000 people there, and there was we were like behind the basket in the lower bowl, and there was some black guy who rode Ricky Davis for the entire game. I mean, harshed him from the opening whistle to the final buzzer. Just tore his ass up for 48 minutes.
I like that guy that just picks a guy out and goes
literally as if that guy came to the game with one objective: to scream at Ricky Davis for 48 minutes.
Good. Ricky Davis deserved it. Guy stinks.
Guy stinks.
Hoch, I went to 41 home games that season.
God
me
bless you.
and my dad. Just me and Eduardo. And Eduardo had no interest. He'd leave every quarter to go smoke a cigarette to the balcony. I sat.
It was actually healthier than watching those games.
No. I was down here. Yeah, I wasn't going to those games.
You were losing on Sundays, Crowder. We know.
All right, we got the idea.
Hey, I'm telling you, I was getting more action than Ricky Davis in the club.
All right, seasonings, Elon. All right, let's get the headline. Such a great insult.
Mac and chess.
Poor guy. The guy's finally over it. Like, he's still in financial straits because of it, but he's kind of let it go. And all of a sudden, it's reappeared in his life and in his head just listening to the show.
I respect him for taking a chance. Tell Josh
I
that.
totally respect him for taking a chance.
Yeah, take a chance. Just
it was wildly successful for several years.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, come on. I mean, so on.
It was.
There were 9 people in there on a Thursday night.
It was wildly successful.
It was. It was extremely successful, extremely popular, right near FIU.
How many seats did it have?
It's fine. I'm sure it was.
Sorry, Josh.
These headlines are driven by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford, we know trucks. So the Miami Heat will play the Kings tomorrow, 7:30 p.m., trying to end this 7-game losing skid.
They got to tighten up. Can they beat the Kings? The Kings, can they play?
The Kings are good. Remember, they had the whole light the beam thing last year in the playoffs?
Yeah. Damn. Need to play Memphis again. No, never mind.
We get Washington on Friday. That's the one right there. Yeah,
I was about to say, give me the one I'm looking forward to.
Lose 8 straight, whatever.
Like a cute place. You know what? It looks like, I'm looking at it. It looks like a cute place.
So now you brought it back up.
I'm just saying. I'm researching Mac and Chess. I thought it was like, the guy unfolded a couple of folding tables and went to the library and got a thing of checkers. But no, it looks like he actually sunk some decent money into this place.
So I walk in, I pick a board game and a mac and cheese derivative.
But the mac and cheese derivatives look good.
It's fire, man. They had burgers that were
fried mac ball is so good. You can't have just one. Made with our mac and cheese, breaded and fried, drizzled with our special house-made guava sauce. It actually looks like it was a pretty fire menu.
And then during the pandemic, everything shuts down. They were just doing Uber Eats orders of macaroni and cheese and the fried mac balls, and they stayed afloat for a couple years.
Yeah, even when the restaurants open back up.
That's a good-looking burger. You see that?
Oh, it looks good.
Now I feel bad.
COVID's been over for a little while.
It's closed like 2 years ago.
Yeah, there's a farewell post. It tugs at your heartstrings.
I don't got them.
All right, enough. Canes Hoops tonight at NC State. 9 p.m.
They even say in the farewell post, it says, our regulars will forever be remembered for their incredible loyalty and support, as well as word of mouth that kept us going for so long. I wish you would have told us about this place when COVID happened because we were helping out businesses. Why didn't you help out your friend?
We did. We did a whole segment on Mac and Chess.
We did a whole segment on it, and we gave it our best, and they just couldn't make it. Is what I was. We did.
We did. We did a whole segment on Mac and Chess during our giving back segments.
Right,
that we were
because we saved a lot of businesses. This one obviously had no chance because we tried.
Man, you guys are mean, man.
I know. I feel terrible about this.
I mean,
Can Crowder give this guy some money? Can Crowder give this guy some money?
Yeah, please.
Not to buy no chessboards. Give him some burger money.
Dolphins, their search for their defensive coordinator continues. You can scratch Bobby Babich off the list, or Bobby Babish off the list. He's staying in Buffalo. So the Dolphins, as of now, have interviewed Anthony Campanile, their outside linebackers coach, Ryan Slowick, and they're supposed to be interviewing Leslie Frazier later this week.
I just like a veteran guy that's called defenses before. That's why Leslie Frazier jumps out to me. This, hey, let's hire internally. I'm not a fan. It could work out. Like Mike McDaniel didn't have a proven head coaching record and all, and I like him. But when your window's closing and there's a lot of big contracts coming up, which this offseason and next offseason, there's a lot of big contracts we got to sign. The window's going to be smaller than I think people anticipate. So get a veteran guy that can run this defense with top-notch dudes.
Look at that.
What is that? What is that?
What do you think it is?
That's a ketchup dog?
That is a ketchup dog at Mac and Chess.
That's a good look.
They wasting up product, all that ketchup on their hot dog.
They closed. Hoch, close their Instagram.
I feel bad.
I know. I mean, clearly, you've been ripping on them for 2 months. Enough.
No, you were ripping on them.
No, don't do this, Jack. So, per Front Office Sports, Taylor Swift has generated $331.5 million in brand value for the Chiefs and the NFL. It includes print, digital, radio, TV highlights, social media since the first game she attended back in September. And they're expecting that to only grow because she's going to be at the Super Bowl, of course. Did you see how it is she's going to get from her final tour date, which I believe is in Seoul, South Korea? I think. Maybe she's in Japan.
In Tokyo, and it's not her final date. But other than that, you nailed the story. But yeah, she's going to fly from Tokyo.
So, if you're wrong on 80% of the information, are you close? She's taking a boat from Tokyo on her last date. She's retiring. I don't know.
We gotta get to talk about it Tuesday anyway. Funny.
Your weather from the Demesman and Dover Law Firm. Your accident attorney.com.
You nailed it.
Free consultations 24/7 at 866-954-MORE. Partly cloudy, but it's a really nice afternoon in South Florida. It's in the mid to upper 60s. That's your weather.